Hey guys, what is going on? Lego Ninjago here, and welcome back to another video where today I'll be ranking and comparing each of the epic battle sets. So firstly we have Jay versus a serpent, and then Kai versus a skeleton, and then Cole versus a ghost, and then finally Zane versus a ninjoid. So without further ado, let's get into it. However, before we look at the differences for each of these sets, I thought we would take a look at some similarities. So there is a couple of main ones. I roughly think the piece count for each of these sets are very similar. There may be like one or two pieces more, but they are definitely quite close. And then the pieces they actually used for the different translucent pieces for each of the ninja are all the exact same for each of the sets. Like you get this small bag with each of the pieces, but the only difference is they're just in a different color. So for instance, for Jay, they're in like this sort of translucent green, and then for Kai, they're in like a translucent orange or red. And finally, the only other similarity is with the new spinner pieces for each of the sets, because each of them do include one of these, but the only just very small difference is with the color on each of them. They all have the same amount of piece count and the sort of same concept. So we'll start from J and then work our way up. So I really like the design for Jay's epic battle set. I definitely think the minifig selection is probably the strongest part for this set, because we're getting a brand new color for the serpent with like this really nice sort of bluish grey color, and then Jay definitely does look really awesome as well. I love his design with like the blue and the white, and then the build as well, it does look really cool. I love how we're getting like a brick built version of like a snakehead. I definitely think it does look really accurate, and the color scheme definitely does look really cool, and the part usage as well definitely does look great. But my favorite part would probably be the build for like the baboon sticks. I definitely think that looks really accurate. And then moving on to Kai's epic battle set, I really love how well this sort of works as like a monastery with the overall design for it, and then also that really nice orange sort of a leaf piece. I also really like the inclusion of like this sort of dummy where like you can battle with it, does spin around. I really like the wooden feel to it with like the color brown and all that, but my favorite part would probably be the design for like the monastery inspired building. But I do have a very small problem. I just wish they maybe changed out the black piece which the flower is connected to with like just a green as like a stem, because it just looks very strange why they've gone for like a black stem and then like a yellow flower. So it would have worked a little more better with green. But apart from that, the minifig selection is definitely really cool. I do like Kai with his exclusive torso, and I believe his legs are as well. And then the skeleton is really awesome to see a new mold for a skeleton. I think the last time we saw one for Ninjago was in the pilot season, but mistake me if I'm wrong there. And then moving on to Cole's epic battle set, I do think the idea of the Town of Sticks from Season 5 works really well with the minifig selection, especially with the ghost. But I just think the execution could have been done a little more better. It just looks quite plain and ordinary compared to the rest of them, because I definitely think they could have done a much more better job than what they've actually done here. But I do really like the build for like that lantern with like the translucent green, and then the egg with like the pot. I do like those inclusions, and we can't forget the green sausages. I do really like the inclusion of them, but I just think the execution was just a little poor. And I'm not too sure, but why have they included like this small build for the sausages? I definitely think they could have done a bit more of a better job, because out of these sort of extra builds you do get, this is the smallest one compared to all the other ones. So I just wish they maybe did a bit more of a better job with this. However, with the minifig selection, I definitely think Cole is the strongest minifig out of this epic battle set. I really love the design on his torso and legs, but just the ghost, it's really disappointing that we're just getting the same version of the ghost from the Zane's Titan Mech Legacy set, because it's just quite lazy in my opinion. Like, why couldn't they just make like a really awesome new ghost piece for just like this cheap epic battle set? Instead, we're just getting the same ghost piece which we did get from that Legacy set. Now moving on to Saiyans, I definitely think this one has the most biggest builds out of them because the extra build is the biggest one out of all the other ones. And I really love the sort of story it tells here. This is like the Cyrus Borg sort of factory where like all the ninjoids are being made. And I really love the color scheme for it because it does have that sort of Overlord feel to it from Season 3. And the minifig selection is pretty awesome. I do love the Zane minifig in this set, but just with the Ghost minifig, I just wish we got like a new updated legacy version of the Ninjoid with like some different designs on him, just to sort of have a brand new sort of epic battle version of him instead of just getting the exact same Ninjoid from the minifig pack from Ninjago, which we did get I think last year or the year before. If I was to rank these from my favorite to my least favorite, I would probably say my favorite would have to probably be the Jay vs Serpent one, because I definitely think that has the strongest build and a pretty awesome selection of minifigs. Then I would probably say the I'm sort of tied between these two over here. I would probably say the I'm really not too sure. I think I'm going to go with the Kai versus Skeleton, because I definitely think that one has a bit more of a better minifig selection, because we're getting a brand new legacy version of a skeleton, and I definitely think the build does look really awesome. And then I'd probably say the Zane versus Ninjoid Epic Battle Set would be my third favorite, because I really love the build and the story it does tell, but it would have probably been my second favorite or possibly even first if we did get like a different Ninjoid instead of just getting the same one from previous set. And then my least favorite would probably be the Cole vs Ghost, because I just think they could have done a bit more of a better job at it. But I think the Cole minifig for this set is really awesome, and just as well with the Ninjoid, I definitely think we could have got a bit more of a better Ghost instead of just getting the exact same one. So, hope you guys did enjoy this video, because I really did enjoy sharing my thoughts and opinions as well as comparing and ranking these sets. I would definitely love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below, as well as what your favorite epic battle set is. So, as always guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I can see so. Goodbye!